everybody, and welcome back to video 6 in our autumn series. Now we're using the kit Winter's Tale by LineDotArrow, and this is my design team project for LineDotArrow for November of 2023. Now we're taking all the autumn aspects out of this kit, and we made an autumn book out of it. So all the links for LineDotArrow and for Nathalie are down below. Just click the link called linktree.com/LineDotArrow. Okay, it's actually not linktree.com. Just look for linktree/LineDotArrow. And then if you want to get this kit, which I'm sure you will because it's just beautiful, then use the link below that, which is going to be the design team discount link, and you can get 40% off. Okay? All right. So now you also, I cannot talk. I am so sorry. You also want to make sure to go and visit the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group, and also the Junk Journal Tutorials, Videos, and Projects Facebook group. I may shorten that name. To check us out and see what we're doing. We have, well, projects, tutorials, and videos on both of them. So I want to go and check that out. If you like these videos, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe if you would. And if you are a subscriber, welcome back. Okay, so now we weren't going to do video 6. I was just going to make the cover and film a flip through. Then I decided, well, okay, I'll go ahead and do video 6. I've got part of the cover done. And these are the parts that I've completed. You'll notice a new addition to the video, which is a little bitty band-aid. I'm cutting the elastic cord, and I'm holding it, and I cut it just like that. And I cut one of those little divots right out of my finger. I cannot be allowed next to sharps. Now we have narrowed it down not only to blades, but scissors and any other sharp object. Probably paper. Paper cut here pretty soon. Now you'll notice that this cord is the same color as on here. No, I didn't buy it that color. You can see that it was white when I started out. Let me see. Give it a minute to focus. You can see that it was white when I started out. And what I did was I ran it back and forth like this, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, across my rusty hinge ink pad. So I just went back and forth like this, and you spin it at the same time and pull it apart while you're doing it, and it gets down in those fibers, in the stretchy elastic fiber there. And then the next thing you know, you have a rusty hinge colored piece of elastic. So buy white, color it yourself. Okay? I guess you could buy black too. Black would be hard to color everything in and get all of it colored in without seeing some white. So buy black, buy white, buy the thicker. I think it's 1.3. Don't get the 1.0, it's too thin. Your book will sag out. Okay, so got our elastic. I have the inside middle of the cover. Okay, these are going to be the inside covers. I think that'll go well together. Looks like it should be the inside of a book. I almost did the whole thing that. Then we've got the front and the back cover. So we've got the front and the back, and everything's been inked. This is the center of the collage page. And I looked at it and I thought, ooh, I want that for my spine. So I maneuvered my way around and cut it 1 1/4 inch wide. That's what our spine is. Well, not quite. I think it was 1 1/8, something like that. 1 3/16. Anyway, enough to give me a little bit of a border all the way around. So that's that. We're going to paper clip these 3 together. in the cord so we don't lose anything. I do not want to have to go through. I've washed my hands and I still have rusty hinge on me, and I have glue too. Oh well. Oh well. Such is the life, right? Let's stick that there too. Now I wanted to show you, I went ahead and did 3 sides. I measured out the height of the book. Now we're doing an elastic band, so you need to add an extra 1/4 of an inch to the top and the bottom, and I'm not sure I got quite that much. This might be a little tight, but to give you that 1/4 of an inch down to punch the hole for your eyelet to put your cord through. Okay, then you give yourself, normally you would just go 1/4 of an inch taller than the book and give yourself 1/8 of an inch on the top and the bottom. Okay, so I'm saying add another 1/8 to the top and the bottom to give yourself a little bit of room to punch the hole. On the width, you're going to go, it's 5 1/2. So you're going to go 5 5/8 times 2 plus the 1 1/4 inch spine plus the little gap in between, which mine kind of goes like that. I noticed it later. And then you just cut your paper to size so that you have 1 inch all the way around. You see mine's cut a little short, a little long on this end and a little short on this end. So it isn't always perfect, but it worked. Then then you trim the corners. I'm just kind of going over this real quick so you know what I did before. You can look at any of my other book videos and see what I did. I just wanted to do a quick little deal here and show you. So we're going to glue this last end piece, and you do all the other ones the same. So you bend it up a little bit to kind of tell it where you want it to go. Give it a little what for. And then you're going to put glue along this line where the cardboard meets the paper. And if you're smart, you'll fill up your glue before you make a cover. Use a lot of glue. Then you're going to go up the edge, get the corner. Make sure to get the edge really well because that's what's going to pop up. Okay, and then get you some glue in here to hold the paper down. The shorter it is, the harder it is to get it to lay down, but you don't want to get it super long either, like this side is super long. And we're not going to use book corners on this one. I think it would have made it look really pretty, but I just couldn't find any the right color. I guess I could have changed the color eyelet that I'm using to match, but I really didn't want to use like a bronze kind of a color. I wanted to use that copper color to go along with the rusty hinge. So if I ever find book corners that are the right color, I might come back and put them on this because I think they would be pretty. Alright, so now we've got all of our sides are glued down. Well, almost glued down. We don't have any gaps on the corners. Sometimes you have to put corner pieces on to cover up if you have a gap where the cardboard sticks out. So that's good. So now we're going to take these pieces and do the inside. This one, they're all as tall as the book, okay? So these were cut the size of the book pages. And then I just cut this to the same height. This is from an 8.5 by 11 that's in a portrait orientation. So I had to cut it off to make it the right length. Then I just looked at it and said, there was a scrap, and I just kind of looked at it and said, okay, that's wide enough. It's a little wider than I normally would use, but I didn't feel like trimming it down and ending up with it too short. You want to cover your spine and the little gap, and then you want to an inch and a half or so out on either side. Okay, so we're going to glue this. First we're going to put some glue here. Don't put it up on the white part, you don't need to. But you definitely don't want this to buckle up. You want this to adhere completely. So we're going to put a bunch of glue in here. I get a little carried away right here because I get very upset if the edges pop up. Then on this, oh, it's the same on both sides. On this, we're going to glue it. I'm going to glue it really well. It's kind of hard. I can't see the glue. You probably can't see it either because I'm working off camera. Sorry about that. I'll put some glue in here. I don't normally, but when it comes to this center part, it makes me crazy. This will grab the glue that's on the cardboard. Like I said, I'm not normally a center gluer. Okay. So you want to have a little space at the top and a little at the bottom. You want it to be even. Boy, I was off on that. And it's crooked. Look at the cardboard itself and not the paper, because you may not have cut the paper at the top and the bottom the same. And get my glue eraser out, or my glue scrubber. And you want to take your bone folder, not the dirty side, and you want to run this along here, because that's where your book is going to fold. You kind of want to make it do what you want it to do. Don't use the point. You'll poke a hole right through the paper. This one kind of goes off kilter. Not the straightest book cover I've ever made. And sometimes it's hard to see where didn't. These cream colored covers. Yeah, there's not really an indentation. Well, let's hope it's glued enough that when I fold it up, it doesn't bubble up that way. Okay. Now, I feel like we should have the writing right side up. That's just me. Go figure. So we're going to glue this on. Hold on. sleeves about driving me nuts. So I'll just be cold. Okay, so we want to go about here, and we want to line it up with this. And that's all there is to that. Just make sure you've inked it. Okay. And I marked the top. I wrote top on there. Now this particular one to me is just like gluing in the book itself. And I don't really feel the need to super glue the whole thing, because it will stay down. It's 65-pound cardstock. It's not all wishy and wrinkly. Make sure to get your sides really well. Kind of juice up the corners so you can kind of slide it around a little bit if you need to. That little extra glue takes a little bit longer to dry as well. If you've made a mistake, it makes it easier to pull it off. Fabri-Tac is forgiving, gives you a little bit of time, and then if you put a pile of it on there, then not only can you slide it around, but you can pick it up. Okay. And you see how I'm sliding that around with my thumbs? Oh, that's pretty. Such a pretty paper, Natalie. Oh, so very, very pretty. And that line ended up almost in the center. I don't like when where I glued the paper, take two pieces of paper together, hits right in the center of the spine, but I found that piece to cover it, so all is well. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I was kind of talking to myself in my head. I'm a little tired. I filmed 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 video number 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 in 2 days. Because I'm a crazy person. You can't keep a crazy person down. Somehow I've got just a little bit of difference down here. Why? Why? Probably no one would have noticed except for me if I hadn't said anything. So this is our inside cover. You can give it a little bit of a, if you want to, just so it knows where you want it to bend. But you don't want to do a whole lot. It'll help you see the edges when you do the center as well. I was thinking that I might wait and glue the front cover picture on after I go online and look up some free images of some fall leaves so that I can put some fall leaves behind the image. So we may do that. And it's too late now. Well, not really too late, but to tie a ribbon on the inside if we had wanted to, because we've glued the papers down. So now you want to make sure this is the top. So that makes this the front. This is the front, and this is the top. Okay? This is the back, and this is the top. Now I know we're going to glue this one on, so. And then I think I'm going to bend this a little bit more. It's still pretty hard to see. Here's our cord. And it's okay that it's white on the tips where I was holding it, because when you pull it tight, you tie it and you trim the ends off. So, in a perfect world. So now, there's writing on this one as well. So you need to make sure that you put it on straight. Okay. That seems short. It all seems short. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to do something. I don't want to glue these on yet. Because if I printed this out full page, no border, it would be bigger. But I would probably lose this blue and some of this. I don't think, well, I have to do this or else we can't do our eyelets. But I could do this one bigger. Well, that would be silly to have a spine bigger than the... Okay. And this is the back, and you see that this looks like it attaches here. So this is the right side up on here, and I wrote top. We'll put the spine and the back on. You know, this never just goes bingity bing bang boom done. That's why I didn't film the first part. I've filmed the first part on lots and lots of videos. So, I guess I'm just trying to get you to go watch some of the other videos. And you see how much more, but we needed that extra to put our eyelets in. So what we'll do is make sure the eyelets are above and below this paper, which it looks like we're not going to have any trouble with that. And I think that's what the problem is I added in for the eyelets and forgot about that it would make the paper smaller. See, we have this larger border in here, but it looks fine because it's inside the book. It just looks kind of funny on the cover because there's no connecting piece, which yeah. Okay, so let's put the back piece on. And I'm going to wait on the front piece. But we'll go ahead and put the back one on. Or should I put leaves under it too? Because I've got this, but I don't think it looks right because this is more summer than it is autumn. Do you know what I mean? But I could put that around there if I had to. This is making me crazy. All right, let's do the spine. And I'm going to wait and see, but this is what it's going to look like. And then the, yeah, we're going to have to do something, or I'm going to have to do something. So I'm going to download some free images of autumn leaves, like maple leaves and oak leaves, and print them out and cut them out, ink them, and then try to arrange some around the image, either underneath or, you know, over the edges. I'd like to not necessarily have them stick out too far over the edge, but I just need something to cover this little bit. I wonder, yeah, well, I'll figure that out. I'm sorry, I was gonna show you the whole 9 yards, but I think the main part is to show you how to put the eyelets in. Okay. So you want to be 1/4 of an inch down. And then in the center. And it's a 1 1/4 inch spine, which should be plenty for this book. Except for the 2 outside pages really kind of want to spread out because of the buttons and stuff in the middle. So you want to be in the center, and we're going to have a little bit of trouble because of these lines. It's going to be like an optical illusion staring at us, and then where this is too. So we want to go 3/8, 5/8, which is right there, in from our edge. I just happened to put the 8 there. So we've got a half, which is 4/8, and then we got 5/8 right there. Okay, then we want to go 1/4 of an inch down, which is right there. Okay, so then the best thing to do, hold on. Oh no. Oh, here it is. Be to use your T-square. Take this right there. Make a mark 1/4 of an inch up, which of course is not an even number over here. Let's see, there's an 8, there's an 8, there's our dot right there. This is called a T-square ruler. Looks like a T. You square things up with it, T-square. They're very inexpensive. I've got a 6-inch one on order, a smaller one, to deal with smaller angles, but this 12-inch one is perfect, and everybody should have one. You can draw a straight line with it. For writing lines, you can do all kinds of stuff with it. Okay, So now we're going to take and we're going to use our larger setting, the 3/16, and we're going to make a hole. She says confidently where the dots are. That's not bad. It's just 2 cereal boxes, or 2 thicknesses of cereal box. I used Special K with red berries. Let's see. Looks pretty good, actually. Okay. Now we're going to put the eyelets in. We want to put the eyelets in from the outside. Oh, that may look alright anyway. And put these on. Push this up to eyelet setting, which is the farthest one up. Line it up with this little bump going through the setting in the hole in the center on this side, right? So the little bump goes up in that hole, and then you just press down. And then you do it again. And you hope to all the eyelet gods that everything goes well. It feels like it did. Okay. So then after that, all we have to do is run our cord and I just cut it so that it met in the center. We're going to pull it tighter than that, obviously. That's why it doesn't matter about those little white tips on the ends that we have already. I let go of it. This is when it's fun to have mild neuropathy, where you can't really feel your fingers that great. And I'm starving. I was going to have something different, but I think I'm going to have ramen. So you can see we have plenty of room with those little white tips. Now let's check it with the book. So you're going to open your book to the center. And then you're just going to slide it in. Just like that. Just like magic. Now if we had the cover on already, our book would be done except for trimming this. Let's go ahead and trim this so we don't forget. I'm saying we, but really it's me. Go to take the photographs and have the big elastic pieces sticking through. It's too bad. You know, if I move this just a little bit, it could be this little antennae. Never mind. So let's see how that worked. Well, I haven't kind of trained it yet. Oh, that worked out a pretty good size. And look, that's how that turned out. I like the color. The eyelets lined up. So that ended up being okay for the length. I'm just worried about the cover looking lost in a sea of cream. So I put it even with that. Look how far away from this corner. You see the top and the bottom? I'm still going to go online and look, but this is what the cover is going to look like, with some embellishment of some sort. I could put lace around it, some coffee dyed lace or some tea dyed lace. And then the back will look like this. And you see how much cream there is around that? But we had to do the extra for the elastic. So if I could I'm limited by the size of my paper as to how big I can print it. So anyway, I'm going to take a look at it and see what I can do. And I'm sure I'll figure something out. So this will be our front cover. And you open it. Oh, that turned out pretty. Look at that. This will be our inside cover. And then we just flip through the book. And there's our elastic. And there's the back half of the book. That turned out nice. I think that turned out nice. You guys did a good job. Yay, you guys. All right. All right, well, that's going to be it for this video. And I'll see you tomorrow in the flip through when I have everything done. And that will be just a second for you and a whole day for me. Okay, bye-bye.